Samsung Z Fold 5 is the best foldable out there in terms of software experience, so it should not come as a surprise that Samsung will ensure its apps are finely tuned to get the best out of a foldable device. When using Samsung Messages and someone sends you a link, you can tap and hold, then drag it to one side of the screen to access the website or the content of that link. And if it's a link to a YouTube video, then tapping on this icon will open the video in split mode. To easily move an app into split mode, you can use two fingers to swipe from either side of the phone in the direction you want that app to split into. You can also swipe down diagonally from the top left or the top right to allow you open that window in pop-up mode. To toggle on or off these features, go into Settings, Advanced Features and More to Windows, and then toggle on either option. While we are still on multitasking, you can open any app from your taskbar in a pop-up or split mode by dragging and dropping in the preferred space. Your taskbar can hold up to 12 apps, which includes 8 apps of your choice and a maximum of 4 recent apps, which you can switch between for easier navigation. To move your apps into the taskbar, move your app of choice right here and it automatically gets added to your taskbar. It can also be a folder or a shortcut. From this taskbar here, your Z Fold 5 allows you 2 recent app options by default, but you can change that to allow up to 4 recent apps. And if you want to feel like a multitasking beast, then you can change it to 3 or you could change it to 4 recent apps. To change the amount of recent apps on your taskbar, go into your settings, go into display, jump onto taskbar, then tap on show recent apps and change the amount of apps shown there. While we're on the subject of taskbar, when using your phone, if you feel your taskbar is getting in your way and you want to, enjoy your screen real estate, you can tap and hold on this taskbar to hide it, and then you can tap and hold on it again on that area to bring it back up. Go to settings, go to display. In display, you need to tap on the taskbar right here. You can also toggle it from here. One of the good things about using a foldable device is you can certainly do some interesting things with your phone folded. Flex mode allows you to get certain controls at the bottom of the screen when folded. For example, flex mode on YouTube will give you the ability to skip forward, pause, pull down notifications, take screenshots, and a lot more. Once flex mode is turned on, it automatically opens the app in flex mode. However, certain apps have certain functions when folded, so you have to choose what options suit you better. For example, your camera has a lot more functions when folded versus when in flex mode. Now, as you can see, this is the custom layout Samsung camera app, which is pretty useful because you get quite a few things right here. Once you take a picture, it pulls it up here so you can see a picture of what you are taking, and all these options here are provided by custom for this app in split mode. So you have quite a few options. If you wanted to move your viewfinder right here to the bottom, you can tap on this right here and it now moves your viewfinder here. So every time you take a picture, instead it shows up here and you've got your viewfinder here and you've got all your actions right here to do what you needed to do. So this is what the camera app looks like without flex mode, and let me show you what it looks like with flex mode. And now I've turned that on. Let's jump back into camera, and this is what it now looks like in flex mode. So in flex mode, you're now losing quite a few options while using flex mode with the camera app, which is why, like I said, you will need to decide what you want to turn on or what you want to turn off. But either way, you now know what flex mode does and the best way to use it. So what I do is I set apps like YouTube and the camera app that shows this provide custom layout turned off, so I get to choose if I want the apps in flex mode by pressing the flex mode button on the bottom left. You should start getting the idea that Samsung treats your main display and your cover display as 2 different displays. Your external display will come set up at 60 Hz, while your main display, which is the larger display, will come set up at 120 Hz, which is the adaptive refresh rate. If you were to check the main display and you saw the adaptive, you would think that would be the same on the cover display. This is not the case. The cover display comes set up at 60 Hz. So if you wanted to change that, you will need to go into your settings, go into display, tap on motion smoothness and choose your preferred option. Now, most of us, when we try to set up our devices, like to set it up right from the get-go because we feel that if we don't do the restore, then we might not get the options to restore the data from the old device to the new device. But this is not the case. Even if you've set up your device completely, all you needed to do to transfer your data from the old device to the new device would be to download Samsung Smart Switch on your device. And if you don't have it, you can go to the Galaxy Play Store and get it installed. And once you've got both devices open up, you can choose which device will be the recipient and which device will be the sender, and then you follow the steps and you can get your data transferred from one device to another. By default, when using an app on your main screen, closing your phone stops whatever you're doing. However, you can set it up to continue whatever it is you are doing on the main display, on the external display, on any specific app of your choice, or for all apps. So for me, I've got YouTube set up, which means I can be watching a YouTube video, and once I close the phone, the YouTube video will continue, and that's the way I want it. Some of you might prefer to have all apps do that. So you could also do this by going to your settings, going to display, tap on continue apps on the cover screen, and choose the options which you prefer, which would be either all the apps, or you can choose a specific apps. One of the reasons why I prefer the Z Fold 5 compared to the Pixel Fold, even though it had a bigger display, is because of the way apps are scaled, or apps are designed to work with the phone's display. On your Z Fold, you can see what apps will open up in full screen versus what apps open up in the 16:9 or the 4:3 ratio. As you can see, Amazon opens up at 4:3, and I can force it to open up in full screen mode, or I can force it to open in 16:9. And the way to get that done is to go into your settings, go to display, and scroll down a little bit, and you will see full screen apps. And when you tap that, you will see the apps that come up in full screen, the apps that come up in 4:3, or the apps that come up in 16:9, and you get to switch them from here. Also, on the fingerprint sensor, you can set your fingerprint sensor to be always on, or set it up to come on once you press your power button. I've set mine to be always on when my device is open this way. So if it's locked, I can just take it, touch on it, and it unlocks always on. And then when my device is closed, then it will require more input from me. So if I touch it now, nothing will happen. But if I press it down, then it unlocks. So that's the way I've set it up. And if you wanted to set this up, you will need to jump into settings and go to security and privacy. Tap on that, and then alright, so in here, if you don't see fingerprints, tap on lock screen and you see fingerprints right there. So tap on fingerprints, and then tap on the fingerprint always on, and you get to choose what option you want. Either way, let me know the other ways you use your Z Fold, and which tips you're currently using and which you will start using. For more content like this, hit the like button, subscribe and turn on notifications, and remember to stay safe. I will catch you in the next one.